Welcome back to Sonic the Hedgehog for the Genesis, or Mega Drive if you're in Europe. Marble Zone is, quite honestly, it feels more like a Mario level than a Sonic level, but it's kind of acceptable. Also, those caterpillar enemies, you're not supposed to jump on them. Also, do not get hit by shots. For those of you who aren't too familiar with Sonic, I'll explain the rings deal. If you have a ring and you get hit, you survive the hit, but you lose all your rings. As long as you have a ring, you can survive. But this is more what I'm talking about when it feels like Marble Zone's more of a Mario-esque level. There's slow-moving platforms trying to smush you. There's, just traps. Although this is a little Zelda-esque right here. Pushing a block to open a door. Hey, do any of you, dance to the music? Like, duck and look up? There's a checkpoint to the left. Also, yeah, getting some real Bowser Castle vibes from this stage. And also, speaking of the look-up feature, you might want to do it every now and again. You actually move the camera, and it can keep you from being sniped. Also, there's some hidden rooms, which you might want to get if you want to get your 50 rings easier. Generally, keeping 50 rings starts becoming a fair bit harder because there's enemies in ambush spots like those bats, there's things coming from above you, there's fire. But generally, I like Marble Zone. Even if it doesn't feel very Sonic-esque, it still works. I mean, I also like Marble Garden in 3 and K, but you're not going to find many people who have that same opinion. I mean, got Sky Sanctuary stuff in Generations, so someone else liked it. Also, this is one of the most awkward special stages in the game. There's not that much to it, it's just a singular room, with the middle being where the Chaos Emerald is, but there's so much stuff in your way, and there's so many exit areas. You need to get, the perfect shot. Actually, sometimes, I recall, I just started the stage, I hit a bumper right into an exit. I was so mad. Also, there's times where you start getting really, you start sweating, and this is one of those. When you fall all the way on the wrong side of where you just, went through all the platforms, you're just like, ugh. But with some careful jumps, unlike what I'm doing here, you can get back to where you dropped off. Unfortunately, I'm getting rid of way too many of these, so it's going to be harder to get the emerald, but thankfully I got a good slide going. For a good jump, jump, slide, slide option. Oh yay, continue. Those are so relevant in today's gaming days, aren't they? Anyways, welcome to Act 2. One of the longer stages in the game. Also, just generally avoid enemies. I don't know why. Oh yeah, those platforms that are in the middle of lava. When you hold them down, they actually burn up because they're in lava. It's kind of cool, actually, the grass catches fire. I don't know why I thought that was cool, but I always thought that was cool. Now we're introduced to the slow-moving block segments. Totally about a moving fast game. Oh yeah, by the way, that is total dickish enemy placement. Something that Sonic 2 likes as well. Looking at you, freaking Metropolis Zone. Move fast here because lava's coming from behind you. Also, that spike pit, yeah, you get squished, you die. Also, you can stand on spikes when they're coming out the side like that. This isn't Megaman where you just die instantly even if you touch the side of a spike. Don't know why that was ever a thing, but hey. Get a good roll going. Also, springs, they love putting them in dickish spots so you die. Now this is an interesting segment because if you know what you're doing, you can speedrun it. But first, there's a secret room here you might want to get because there's an extra life and some ring boxes which give you 10 rings a pop. Not sure if I said that already. But here's a cool thing, using the momentum stuff I said earlier. you can jump from this platform to the next, and if you keep your speed, you can jump to the side that you need the box for. Because eventually a lava plume would come up and carry you up. More rings, checkpoint. Only reason you probably want that checkpoint is because you have a high chance of getting squished next segment. And also just generally this whole area wants you dead. And you can get tons of points here, although you can't get enough. They don't like scale up to extra lives unless you're actually bouncing on enemies. Or maybe that was just introduced in Sonic 2, I forget. I haven't got a good enough bounce chain in Sonic 1 in so long. Also, invincibility is really fun here because you can just run through the lava, you know, and play Sonic fast. What a novel concept that this first game doesn't seem to get very often. No, I'm not complaining about the game overall, it's just the general design baffles me sometimes. Also, wait, don't get greedy and try to go in between the platforms. I learned that in a test recording. Believe me, I might actually show that later. But here comes stage 3, or wait, special stage 4 first, sorry. Here's a bit more of a maze. A bit of a mazy daisies. Generally, you want to keep the thing going slow so it doesn't rotate like this fast on you. But it's going high intensity right now. Also, try not to rotate too much because it's just generally Also, follow rings. Usually where rings are, or if there's arrows, like in that case, you can, you know, find out where the general area you need to go is. Generally, if a section doesn't have rings, it's usually to an exit, and you don't want to go to the exits. Use these R switches whenever the heck you can. And there's the green emerald. This room, you pretty much are safe, although I say that and... Oh, yeah, I still don't know how I survived that, by the way. It looked like I touched the thing, but I guess I was barely off of it. Or I'm just lucky. Goodness knows my Fire Emblem runs can tell you that much. And, yeah, yet another continue that we won't be using. Or I hope not, anyways. Scrap Brain can pretty much wreck you, though, multiple times over. Marble Zone 3, it's kind of lengthy. There's also some speedrunning tricks here, too, but you generally want to be more careful. Now, if you wanted 50 rings for boss stages, which it doesn't matter anyways, because you don't get a bonus end ring at the end of Act 3s, you might want to go for all the rings here, but... I really like points. All you generally need is one ring to rule them all and in the darkness bind them. Yeah, you got that part. It's kind of weird that switch is a permanent switch when all the others have needed, like, you know, blocks. Or has it only been one other? Also, don't try the speedrun trick I showed you on the previous act on this, because it doesn't work very well. The ceiling will likely catch you. I mean, you can do it, but you need like a very good speed start to jump from the first platform to the second one. And plus you need this to bring you up anyway, so there's really no point. Also be patient there. Yeah, just a lot of waiting in general in Marble Zone. I can see why people aren't a big fan of it, but it's one of the more tolerable Sonic 1 stages, except for those spikes. Those spikes can go to hell. Also, I am so glad that there isn't a spike, like, spawner, like, on the other side of that spring, because that would be dick-ish game design 101. That'd be like Dracula X levels of dickish game design. Hello, Dracula over Bottomless Pits. How you doing today? Careful again of crushing platforms. Anyone else ever get, like, really scared of getting crushed? Sonic 1's not gonna be your friend if you are, because, yeah, there's a couple things that like to crush you. The moving platforms here go kind of fast, but generally, you can keep up with it. But, yeah, there's a shield there for a reason. So there's a room to the left there, you see, but, it's trapped. There's nothing but, like, 6 bats in there. Or at least to my knowledge. There might be a hidden room over there, but I forget. I just remember there being 6 spikes. Or 6 spikes, 6 bats. If you ever wanted to see a party of Zubats, you could just go over there. Boom. Also, I like how Robotnik, or Eggman, because he is Eggman in Japan still at this point in the series. Robotnik was a complete Americanization. But anyways, I like how he puts animals inside mechanical animals. It just seems like a hilarious thing. Although if you go by the context of the Archie comics or Sad AM, you do have, what's her name, the bunny, who has the robotic arm. I can't remember her name right now. It'll be popping up on screen. But yeah, she was cool. Anybody else like the comics? I need to actually read more of the Archie comics. Maybe Fleetway. This boss version of Robotnik and his Egomatic just spawns fire on both sides. You just got to keep basically a pattern going, and you got him. He's really easy again. Despite Sonic bosses generally being easy, this game actually has a couple really dickish ones, but we'll go over that more later. I'll see you next time on SpringYard Zone. If you like this video, rate, comment, subscribe. Till then, bye.